Were football kits better back in the day? That's the question I want to answer here, just because I don't know about you, but I'm feeling just a little bit more disappointed year on year with the football kits coming out. And to be honest, the only ones that really catch my eye are the retro-inspired ones. So what's going on? Right, the first thing we've got to be talking about here is nostalgia. It just plays a huge role when you talk about anything to do with the past, not only football kits, but when you're talking about players, Barclays men, all these things, nostalgia comes into play. It's huge. You put on those rose-tinted Patrice Evra sunglasses and you just think, shit man, things were better back then. And this just 100% applies to football kits. You know, kits are attached to unforgettable memories, iconic players. The lot you see them wear these kits, you remember those amazing memories, and you just think of a better time, and you think of football being better back then. Take the shirt I'm wearing literally right now, the 1997 Chelsea shirt. This is my favourite ever Chelsea shirt, and it's because I romanticize this time in Chelsea's life. Like, I wasn't born, so I don't remember it. I'm not talking from memory here, but you're talking like a nostalgic vibe that they've got here. You're talking about players like Gianfranco Zola or Di Matteo, or these kinds of players that were wearing this shirt, winning the Super Cup against Real Madrid. It's romantic, it's amazing, and this shirt is better for that reason. But the same can apply with anything. Memories of me as a kid thinking about England in 2006, the World Cup, and that kit being iconic for that reason. I just think it holds so much more of a weight just purely because of nostalgia. And also just hit the nail on the head there, a main point. Being a kid, football was funner, wasn't it? It was less commercial, it was more about the game. You're thinking back to a time that was just better when you played football as well. Like, it just plays a massive role in talking about retro kits. And of course, it's not just about being old, being romantic and looking back fondly. It's not just about that. And that brings me to chapter 2, bold patterns and designs. The 90s and 2000s kits, they were just fucking out there, weren't they? They just went mad with these designs. So many kits featured bold geometric patterns, colour blocking, unique collar details. Everything felt unique, authentic and different, and each kit had that kind of impression on you. You talk about Germany 1990, the Netherlands at 1988, the Arsenal Bruised Banana, the Man United Slow Fake. You can just keep going on and on, pulling out amazing kit after amazing kit, and especially in this time period. Also during this time period, brands were just allowed to be experimental, to be different. That's what they were meant to do. Umbro were the kings of different bold patterns. Adidas were the best at templates. Kappa were class and sleek. And then you even had Nike bursting onto the scene in the late 90s, coming in and bringing a new retrospective on it. Which leads me to the next chapter very perfectly. Just a different time. And this isn't kit specific, this is everything. This consumes everything: art, music, fashion, culture, the lot. The culture of the 80s, 90s and 2000s was about being different. It was about expressing yourself, and this was reflected in football with the kits, but also the players. The players had more flair. You got players like Ronaldinho, whose football excited everyone, tricking his way down the wing at Camp Nou, wearing those iconic T90 kits. That's memorable for more reasons, and it just meant more. But even you can go further back. You can look at the Three Dutchmen at Milan, just oozing class on and off the pitch. The expressive nature of football was just different back in the day, and I think that reflected into the kits as well, and it reflected into the personalities, and kits and brands really pushed out those identities out there just because of the time period that they were in. Another huge thing when you're talking about old versus new kits is the material and the fit of them. The first thing you notice when you put on an older kit is the materials and the cut of it, especially in the 90s, where every kit was just baggier, it was heavier, it was made out of polyester or cotton blends, which offered a bit more of a substantial feel compared to today's like light synthetic materials. And for me personally, this is just a bit of a win because I prefer the looser, the baggier, the heavier fit. I just think my personal style lends to that more, and I feel like in fashion today we've come back around to that, whereas like late 2000s, 2010s and now into the 2020s, like, you know, skin tight thin materials, that's the norm. And my last chapter, we've got to talk about sponsors. They can make and break a kit massively. Early on, sponsors were mostly local businesses looking for advertising in their local areas. Football clubs were for their communities that they were in, so being able to promote locally just made a lot of sense. But then of course football gets bigger, it gets more televised, you know, the world starts seeing it, and that means bigger brands come in, of course, naturally, but it still felt authentic, it still felt real, like things that you could associate with football or the match going experience or something, or even a brand that you've even heard of just makes a difference. You know, you talk about Carlsberg, Autoglass, Coors, you know, these brands just, you understood them a bit more. And one of my favourite things is I've done in the past is when I go abroad and I see old school brands in the kits. Like when I went to Italy, I saw the Motta branding in Milan. I saw the Fastweb at the airport, and it's cool. And then comparing that to the modern day, of course, you've got these just ginormous companies on the front of kits. You know, you've got airlines, betting, crypto, which feels the worst. Sometimes even brands you've never even heard of, but they've just got so much money they've put it on in front of a football kit, and it just feels so far removed from what we're used to. And when fans spend their own money on kits as well, so you're repping your club with your colours, you're also repping what's on the kit, and often that's, I don't know, bet here now, please bet now.com. Like, it just feels like less of a responsibility. You're repping something that maybe you don't believe in, and it's just that takes weight away from football kits as well, like massively. And also, we've got to talk about the aesthetics of sponsors as well. Like, this is crazy in the modern day. This can literally make or break a kit. This can tear it down. Also, more sponsors. I don't know why clubs need them, but like if you have more than 2 sponsors on a kit, it just then looks cluttered, and that takes away from the visual aspect. And then that's where kits get ruined, unfortunately. And I think, you know, the talk about the biggest comparison right now in my head that just comes to my head: Blackburn's totally wicked sponsor, terrible logo, awful, ruins pretty much any kit. Bologna's Saputo logo, don't even know what they do, think they're an ice cream company, but the logo is elegant, it looks nice, it works on the kit, and it just makes a huge difference, man. So those are my theories as to why football kits were better back in the day. But it's not all doom and gloom. Don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. I actually believe that we're coming into another golden generation, because everything I've said in this video doesn't actually apply to now. It does a little bit, but it doesn't fully apply for the last couple of seasons. I feel like we're getting a bit of a renaissance in football kits, even since like maybe 2018, 2019. I think brands are waking up to it a little bit more now. Fashion just comes back around, doesn't it? Like, noughties fashion is back right now, Y2K, and that's bringing back all these old designs that we know and love. For example, this Juve third shirt that I bought from this season, this shirt is so popular. It's so popular. I think they've actually sold out, maybe. Managed to get my hands on one. It is beautiful, and it's because it's reminiscent of those 90s kits, but it's not a replica. It's its own thing. The design in the base is unique to this kit. They're doing this again. I feel like it's coming back around, and this kit is a great example of that. So yeah, it is not all doom and gloom, like I said. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's very different to what I'm used to, but I just wanted to talk about this. You know, I'm passionate about football kits. I thought, you know, this audience on this channel, you're passionate about football kits, wanted to talk about it in this like video essay style. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Let me know if there's other topics that I can make videos like this on. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.